Mwah. Hello. Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? I'm floating again. Why am I floating? Again? Alright, I think that should be good. I think. Look who's finally awake. Yes, Grandma Vera has finally awoken from her slumber. Hello, Wapo. Hi, Jason. Hi, Vinter. Hello, Brock. Hello, everybody. Good morning, a good day, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. No matter what time it may be, I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend so far. Hi. Hello. Welcome on in. Hi. Hey. Totally muted. Am I still muted? If I'm muted, then you can't hear that, right? You can't hear that. The wee. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. What the heck, Jackson? That's not my birthday. Hello, Jackson. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Hi, Cian. Hello, Wai-Tai. Welcome on in. Hello. Can you go... Was that good? Is that good? Did that fix me being muted? Is that good? Yeah. Can you guys hear that? Oh, it's still muted? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I cannot do that then. Oh yeah, but okay. See, I should have just said so. Thank you. Bye. Alright, we're good. We're Gucci. We're good. 5 days in a row of burned tongue. I cast chunk. Not the cast chunk. I just for some reason, Lisa, I just heard in your head. I cast upon thee Chongvira. I'm not Chongvira. I didn't know what you're talking about. I am still Human Vera, and so I don't know what you're talking about. As you can see, I'm perfectly...
No.
Okay, alright, okay. I see how it is. Okay. Alright, y'all are working together now. I see how it is. Okay. Alright. Hello. I am Chongvira. I guess your cast actually... I haven't even been on the screen for like 10 seconds and y'all are already requesting for googly eyes? You guys just can't accept Chongvira's default eyes, huh? You guys just really want Chongvira googly eyes. Oh! Don't spray me! Excuse me! You guys request for Chongvira and you proceed to spray? How rude. That's kind of rude, okay? That's kind of rude. Also, thank you so much for the follow, Shiny Pikachu and Roger Busman. I hope you enjoy your stay here at our tea shop. Sorry, I don't usually look like this, but as you can see, the lovely community has requested for Chongvira to appear with googly eyes, and so yeah, I have chonky eyes to go with Chongvira. We have a googly-eyed elf. Hi, Adisu. Hi, Jikarus. My true form is Human Vera. Okay, unfortunately, I cannot show that right now because I am Chongvira. Okay, so this is not my true form. All right. Oh, thank you, Jikarus. Yes. You'll see Human Vera in a second here. Okay. All right. Who hit me? Who hit Chongvira? Hi, Pastry. Hello, Yellow Ring, by the way, and Lunaki. Hello there. Welcome on in. Hi, Void. Yep, I disappeared and then I reappeared. Yes. That's a lot of wiggle. Yeah, that's kind of that kind of happens when you have a lot, floof to your trunk. Yes. You're going to a concert. What concert are you going to? Have fun. I hope you enjoy your time at the concert. Hi, Goshik. Hello there. Welcome on in. Hello. Con Hall. We didn't really get anything because PAX West is like, I'll tell you more about it. But yes, for those who don't know, I have been at PAX West. Woohoo! We were at PAX for Friday and Saturday, and so I have stories about PAX West for y'all. But it's not really a con haul, you know. One, you know, I'm at the stage where I'm, you know, saving money still after the move, and then two, yeah, I don't know. PAX West is more of like a gaming convention, you know, and so they don't really have like an artist alley, and so they have like a small artist alley, but not really the ones that you see at other conventions like anime conventions and whatnot. And so for the artist alley, it's kind of small. They had some cool stuff, but yeah, nothing that like caught my eye. You playing demos? Yeah, we did. I'll talk all about it here in a second. Yeah, I got you. I can tell you about the games, about the lines, all of it. Yes. Bye, Ankalax. Welcome on in. Can we see Jiggle Chunk? You're a bit down. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes, I got you. Okay. Alright, ready? How do you want it? You want it like beep, 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 or you want like crazy jiggle, like oh, like that, or do you want just like subtle jiggle? Is that what you want? Does that help out? Oh, thank you for the water. Thank you. I do have my tea here. You needed that. Good. I hope I helped out. Miss Kitsuri, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Hi. I don't usually look like this. So this is a little awkward to say hi in this form, but I assure you, I have old man form. You can see my real eyes kind of peeking through, but my chat really likes to put on googly eyes on this chonk bunny form of mine, and so yeah. But how was your stream, Miss Cute City? I hope you enjoyed playing Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That is one of my favorite games of the Pokemon series. I played the heck out of Soul Silver. I had like the little Pokeball device that came with it. It was like a little thingy that you clipped onto your body. I didn't know what it was used for, but I had that. And then I had my Chikorita. And so whenever I see someone playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yippee! But yes, for anyone that's new here, my name is Elveira. I am usually not chonky like this. I'm more of a whole man, and I like to play lots of games. I'm a variety streamer. I play lots of comfy farming sims like Grand Bazaar, but I also play lots of other games too, like Peak and Mob Wobbles and some other games too. Yeah. So if you enjoy just hanging out here and chatting, or listening to me chat, or just lurking as I play games, then please feel free to stick around. Yeah. My first time playing Soul Silver and doing a Nuzlocke. Oh my goodness! Nuzlocks scare me. And so I give you props for playing not only your first time playing Soul Silver, but also doing a Nuzlocke. No, not the Pokemon dying. Man, but I hope you had fun though. That sounds really fun. That sounds really fun. Yeah. Can I ask what starter you chose for Soul Silver? I love the starters for that generation. I feel like you can't go wrong with Totodile, Chikorita, or Cyndaquil. They're all just so good, you know, for the Johto region. God, Johto region, so good. Hello, General Vaughn. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Hi. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Day. Hello, Nyx. Hello, Interdimension Jelly Bean. Welcome. You speaketh. Welcome in. Welcome. Also, hello, Nimby. Hello to those watching on the YouTube side as well. Can Devin go around with Chikorita? Oh, yeah. Well, then why is Chikorita one of the starters for Pokemon Legends? Yay. Huh? I'm just kidding. I remember seeing all the hate that people had for Chikorita. There are like the two people that are excited for Chikorita in Pokemon Legends ZA. It's me. I'm one of the two. I watch Chikorita and I'm excited I get to have her as my starter in Pokemon Legends ZA. Okay? Alright, I know there's hate on Chikorita, but I love her. I love my Chikorita. When I first got gold, not heart gold, just gold, I got a female Totodile. Didn't realize how big a deal that was back then. Yeah, but when it comes to like the female starters, they're kind of rare. You know, not as rare as a shiny starter, but they're pretty rare. They're pretty rare.
Nice.
Rachel, thank you so much for the resub at 56 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the team. Oh my god, what the heck? Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh? Huh? What the? Huh? Wait! Oh my goodness! Interdimensional Jelly Bean, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for the 10 gifted subs? That was so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you guys received a gifted sub, I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. And please make sure to thank your gifter, okay? That was very sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Interdimensional Jelly Bean. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Cyndaquil. Oh, Cyndaquil's a good choice. Oh god, I love Typhlosion. Typhlosion is one of my favorites too out of the evolution lines for starters. Oh, that's your jelly. Oh, Miss Kitsuri, you and your community are so sweet. You guys are so kind. So kind. Thank you so much for sending the raid over. And also, if you need to raid and run, you know, to get some food or to get some rest or anything like that, please feel free to do so. Don't let me keep you here. I completely get it as a fellow streamer. But yeah, if you want to hang around, of course, you're all more than welcome to hang out here as I chat. I'm just going to talk about my PAX West experience, and then we're going to play some games. Yeah, guess I'm good. Yes. I see you in a bit, Miss Kitsuri. But yeah, please go check out Miss Kitsuri if y'all have not already. But thank you. Thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. And go check them out, okay? Oh, no, I got you. When you said food or good, I was like, yeah, good food. Yes. Good food is good. We love good food. Yes. What Z starter are you more curious of it than? I'm really excited about Chikorita. I mean, come on, right? They're probably gonna have like mega evolutions for the starters, no? Right? I mean, they have to with the way that they're bringing back mega evolutions. And so I'm really excited to see if Chikorita has like a mega evolution. I'm so excited. I love Meganium. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just felt like growing up when I saw Chikorita involved in a Bayleaf, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But then when Chikorita evolved into Bayleaf and then Bayleaf evolved into Meganium, it kind of felt a little disconnected. You know what I mean? It's like when Dragonair evolves into Dragonite, you're like, oh, that's kind of different, you know? And so I'm really hoping that they have like a mega evolution for Meganium, just because, I don't know, it just feels a little disconnected, and maybe it'll make me like Meganium a little bit more. Yeah. Lily, thank you for the water. Hi, Lily. How you doing? Oh, my foot's asleep. Oh, it's asleep. Oh my god, the floof. Too much floof. Oh, my foot. Oh, it's asleep. Oh, I hate it. I hate the tingly that happens when your feet fell, or when you're, not just your feet, but when your body parts fall asleep. You're just like, What do you guys call it? I know growing up we called it like pins and needles. Oh, I hate it. It's like Thank you for the water. You guys call pins and needles too? Oh, that's some good tea. I made myself some jasmine tea. That's some good tea. Yeah. I heard of it as like TV static too. Hi, Villevin. Welcome on in. How you doing today? I'm not shrimping. One, I'm not sitting in a gaming chair. Two, I'm not shrimping. You can't shrimp in a gaming chair if you don't have a gaming chair. I'm not gonna lie though. Like, I've been sitting on the floor when I stream, right? Ever since I moved, and I'm not gonna lie, my posture feels like it's pretty good. I'm just like, because there's no like back rest for the chair that I had back home, for example, it's like my body kind of forces itself to, you know, have like proper posture. And so I'm like, ooh, my posture is kind of good, but kind of better, you know? Also, thank you so much for the follows, by the way. Yoka Wig and Fritzy Boy, Euphoric Turtles, as well as Kiwi Arcano and Interdimensional Jelly Bean. Thank you all for the follows. I hope y'all enjoy your stay here with us. Thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. I think the pins and needles are a sign that it's time for Chongbeer to turn back into Human Vera. Alright? Alright, chat. I'm going back to Human form. Alright. We are back. Okay? Hold. Hold. Alright, I am back to Human Vera. So for the raiders, you now get to see what I actually... Okay. Alright, I see how it is. Okay, I guess we get... I guess I'll go back to Chong Vera. Okay, alright. I guess you guys just hate Human Vera for some reason. Okay. It's fine. You think you guys are putting me at a disadvantage by turning me to Chong Vera? Wrong. You guys don't know, but Chong Vera is the most intimidating form of me, and so yeah, get intimidated, okay? Get intimidated. Hi, boss. Welcome on in on the YouTube side. Shapeshifter. No. I just sometimes I can turn into Chong Vera, you know. But yeah, if chat requests for me to turn into Chong Vera, I you know, sometimes I can do them back to back, and so I guess today is one of those days where I have enough energy to go back to Chong Vera. I have taken 2 days off from streaming, you know, and so I guess I have more energy reserves than usual. Usually I only take a 1 day off, you know. I guess you guys can have Chong Vera for like 10 more minutes, you know. Hi Himbo, how you doing? Who did that? Yeah, I wonder who did that. I wonder. But I'm taking away the googly eyes because I don't want them on me. I did not need to have googly eyes. My goodness, my eyes are so small after I take them off. Have you guys seen the anime where you see like anime characters wearing contacts, right? And then they take off their contact and their eyes just like, their pupils like super tiny compared to their contact. And it's supposed to be like, I think like a parody of what it's like when people wear those really big circle lens contacts. That's kind of how I felt like just now. I was like, wait a minute. It kind of felt like that. It felt like I was I just took off my contacts. And now I'm back to my regular eyes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You think so? You think the googly eyes look less silly? Why? I see that with normal glasses and the eyes look like... I've seen that in the anime. Yeah. I've seen them do like parody jokes about that too. Comically small eyes. Excuse me, these are my regular eyes. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to look like. Alright. The googly eyes are not what I'm supposed to look like on a normal basis. For Chong Vera. Okay. Hi, Zena! Oh my gosh, you have cows and you're in summer now? I need to catch up. I've been seeing people play, right? And they're so far ahead. And I've only played for what? Like, I've only not played for 2 days. And I see people in fall. I see people in the summer. I'm just like, oh my god, you guys are zooming in Grand Bazaar. But yes, I'll talk about packs here in a second. Hi, Yokaway. Nice to see you too. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, perfect posture. No. I can't say I have perfect posture, but I think it's better because I don't know. Like with the gaming chair, I think because I'm short, it kind of doesn't really make sense when I try to like lay back in a gaming chair. And so, if I'm being honest, right, like with the gaming chairs, I don't lay back on the back of the gaming chair. I have to have like 2 pillows so that I can like reach my back, right? Because my legs don't really touch the ground when I put the gaming chair on the lowest level. And so I have a footrest, but then to like have my feet lay on the footrest properly, I need to scooch myself up in the chair. And then there's like a huge gap in between the back of the chair and my back. And so I had like 2 pillows that I put in the back of my chair so that I could have like a pseudo backrest. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, oh, you know, this kind of works out. Because when I sit on the floor, my feet are always on the floor. And then I don't have like a backrest. And so it kind of forces my back to like, you know, sit up straight, you know, proper posture wise. And so I'm like, I kind of fix my posture. I'm not gonna lie. Can I swim? Chongvira form, no, but then it's not really that different with my Human form. I can't swim in general, and so yeah, I can't really swim. I can float, okay. Chongvira and Humanvira can float, okay. We just can't swim, all right, okay. So that's not too different from Chongvira and Humanvira. Also, Oni, is it Onishi Masako? Thank you so much for the follow. And thank you for the compliment. Welcome on in. Thank you. Are you okay with me calling you Oni? Or do you want me to call you Masako? Let me know if you have a preference between your username. I might have to switch back to an older chair. Really like this fancy office chair I got for free, but doesn't quite fit your room. That makes sense too. Yeah, I feel like people think about like how gaming chairs, like Secret Labs, right, or office chairs, right, like the Urban Miller one, you know, are really fancy schmancy and they're like talked about. But yeah, it's not gonna work for everybody, you know, and that's perfectly fine. If you feel like it doesn't work for you, if it's not a cup of tea, you know, you can always change to another chair. And they're expensive too. Yeah. Oni, please. Okay, I'll call you Oni. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. What is funnier? When under the eyes they have the eyes, or when they have the most beautiful Bishojo eyes? Oh, you mean the odd Ikemen eyes? Here, wait, let me pull up the screenshot of the contact look I'm talking about, so that people have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, let me show you. Where's that picture? Also, perfect timing too, because we do have ads, and so I can wait for ads to be over as I search up the picture real quick. Okay. Anime contacts. Wait, no, not the actual anime contacts. I don't want actual contacts. Screenshot. No. Where is it? Oh, here. Here's the meme. Okay. Ready? Okay. Alright. It's right here. So this is a screenshot from an anime where they show like the difference between like or not the difference, but they kind of like do a parody about what it's like to see someone wear contacts, like the really big circle lenses, and then, you know, they take off the contact and then they're just like their pupil size is completely different. Okay, alright. Are you ready? Okay, well, this is what I was talking about earlier. That's the screenshot right there from the anime that parodies the contact lens size. And so I saw this person, they made a video about it and it kind of brought this screenshot back up. And so in the person's TikTok, right, they were talking about, like, someone asked them a question like, why do you always wear those contacts, those like really big circle contacts, right, instead of just going without contacts? And for them, that person's a cosplayer, right? And so their anime eyes, like their makeup is drawn to be like a little bigger. And so without the contacts, it looked kind of awkward. And so the contacts kind of like fit with the drawing that they did, like the makeup they did for the anime-sized eyes on the cosplay. And so they put the screenshot up. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but there are some circle lenses that you can get for contacts, and they are like a lot bigger. They make your pupils like a lot bigger because of the sizing of it. And so yeah, when they take them off, this is what they felt like. And that's kind of how I feel like when I take off my googly eyes. I'm just like, when I take off my googly eyes, I feel like I'm taking off my circle lenses. I'm just like, oh, this is my actual eye size. But you guys are like, put it back! Put it back! Yeah. But it's cool though. I feel like they've definitely like made so much more contacts for cosplayers, especially, right? There's like Sharingan eye contact style. Is that what it's called? The Naruto eye? I don't know what it's called. I don't think the Sharingan eyes, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The Naruto eyes. They also have like Kaneki Kenai's. There's so many contacts out there that just kind of give off the effect of the eyes in anime characters really well. Yeah. Welcome back, Miss Kitsune. Hello there, welcome back. Hi. Hello. I'm so sorry, Goshik. Chonk Weir cannot wear glasses. I don't know, it's the, I just know them as like Naruto eyes, like the red eyes. Yeah. Ah, they are Sharingan. Okay, alright. I see. I kinda know my Naruto. I'm just kidding. Bro Vera, he was the one to watch Naruto. And so... Hold on, give me 1 second. And so I would watch alongside with him. And so I don't know too much about Naruto. But I know bits and pieces. Oh, thank you. Time for one googly eye mode. No one has redeemed it. Yo, I guess no googly eye Chongvira. Purple eyes are Byakugan. That's what Hinata has. I love Hinata. I think Hinata is my favorite character from Naruto. Oh my gosh. I just remembered something that I completely forgot about. Back in like 7th grade, which was a long time ago, I had a classmate and she was a really big fan of what was the guy's name? Deidara? Or something like that? The one that has like the tongue on his hand. And I was just like, huh? But yeah, she was like the biggest fangirl over this guy from Naruto. And I've never seen this character before. All I remember is that the guy was blonde and he had a tongue on his hand. And she was down bad for him. She like drew art of him. She had her phone wallpaper as him. She had so much just of this character. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, explosive clay guy. But yeah. And then I remember years later, people were talking about him and I was just like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize that this character had so much people shrimping over this character. But then they emphasized that it was the tongue on the hand, and I was just like, oh, I see. I don't know. For me, the tongue on the hand thing kind of freaked me out as a kid, just because I was like, ooh, it's kind of scary, you know. But yeah, there are some people that are down bad for that Naruto character, and I was just like, interesting, very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have like a. I know a lot of people were fans of Sasuke too growing up, right? Like a lot of people were down bad for Sasuke. I didn't really have a character that I liked like that in Naruto. And not even Kakashi. Kakashi was cool, but I was just like, it's not really a character that I like that. But I will say for Bleach, I didn't watch Bleach either. Bro, we watched Bleach, but I really liked how do you pronounce his name? Ikiora? Is that how you pronounce it? I feel like I always got confused on how to say his name. But yeah, I was like, oh, he's kind of cool. And then I saw fan art of people shipping him with Orihime, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this ship art of them. It's kind of cute. I was like, okay, this character's kind of nice looking. Okay. Thank you for the no slouch. Oni, don't worry, I'm not slouching. You can't really slouch when you have a big old tail behind you like this, you see? My tail kind of makes it impossible for me to slouch. Yeah. Ooh, Kiora. Oh, Kiora. Oh, okay. I think that helped out a lot. Ooh, Kiora. Got it. Thank you. Kisame love for freakier peeps. Kisame? From Naruto? Kisame. Naruto. Oh my gosh, you know, I don't know who he is, but he looked like a fish to me. When I was younger, I saw the details on his face, and he looked like a fish because of the gills that you would see on fish. Is he a fish? Is he like a fish man or something like that? What the Wappa. Wappa. Alright, I think it's time for Chonkbeer to disappear once again. Also, Andy saying thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoy your stay. Hello, hello. Hey, Gabby! Hey, Gabby! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much! Thank you for that resub at 8 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay as a tea bud. Thank you, Kate Cabby, for using your Prime Mommy. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for that 8-month resub? Thank you! Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're only 2 months away from double digits. Thank you, Kate Cabby. Thank you, thank you. I'm a little phlegmy after eating my lunch. Also, Andy saying thank you for the follow. Ashy! Hello, Ashy! Welcome on in. It's nice to see you. Hello. Alright, I'm going back to Human Vera. I think it's time for me to go back to Human form. Alright, goodbye, y'all. I'm... Chong Vera, out. Hold. 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 Alright. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Alright, we're back to Human form. Hello everyone. This is a little awkward for those that came in from the raid, but this is my true form. I'm not usually a chonky bunny. But hi, hello everyone. I am back. It was fun while it lasted. Unless. Hi, Enigmas. Oh, thank you, Oni. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I was a little worried there for a second. I was like, oh, I hope people that were popping in for Chonkbeer isn't too disappointed by, Human form. It's still me. They're both still me. It's just that Chonkbeer is like the embodiment of like Gremlin Vera. And so I'm a little gremlin here and there, but Chonkbeer is like extra gremlin, Hey, who did that? Excuse me. But yeah, it's still me. Still me. Just less floofy. Less floofy. But still gremlin. Some would argue, if not more gremlin, But hi, hello. It is I, Human Vera. But here, let me pull up the art. Here, you want me to expose myself, my like younger self, on the type of art that I liked. So for Ukiora, I feel like I'm still pronouncing it incorrectly, but this is the art that someone made of him and Orihime. And I've shipped them. I'm not gonna lie. I never saw the episode, but I've seen like snippets of it from AMVs and stuff. And so I was like, kind of ship it. And then I was kind of disappointed after I found out the ending of like who ends up with who in Bleach. Because I don't know. Like I as someone that's like a casual enjoyer from the side, I feel like some of the shipping just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It can't just be me, right? Some of the ships at the end, like the canon couples, I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know if I feel like I concur with some of these canon ships at the end of the anime. But I was like, okay, Oh, here. Okay. Ready? So here's a picture of an art that I saw that someone drew back in the day, the two of them, and I was just like, oh. Also, someone redeemed glasses right here. I'll put glasses on. Human Vera. All right, ta-da! All right, glasses on. Right, I thought it was cute too. Let me see. Where's the? God, I remember there was a lot of art on Tumblr, especially of the two. There's a lot of art of the two that was like really pretty. Really cute. The way that they drew him, I was like, dang, he looks kind of nice. I mean, he looks nice in general, design-wise, but the way they drew him, I was like, damn, he looks kind of like an Ikemen. I was like, oh. Okay. It's I can't find it. There was like more to it before. If I search up like Tumblr. So pretty. Yeah, the art was really pretty. Here. My favorite was Gaara. but they did him dirty in Boruto. I feel like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like they did a lot of characters dirty in Boruto. Like, I remember, I remember someone talked about his hair for Naruto's hair as a dad, and they're like, yeah, or just like his character in general. They said that a lot of things that they made Naruto do in the anime for Boruto were really out of character as to how he would actually be. They felt like as a dad, you know, from the way that he grew up in Naruto. And so yeah, I've heard some like mixed things about Boruto and how the characters have become, especially for the older characters that kind of had like a growth spurt. Oh my goodness, this art here is spicy. I don't know if I can show you this one. This one's kind of spicy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll just show you this art. I'll just show you this one then, just to show you the art style. I don't know the name of the artist, but I used to like follow this artist specifically because of the way that they drew the characters. It's really cute. Really cute. Okay, so this was the art style that they drew of the two. Hi Grim, welcome on in. How you doing today? You know, when I think about Naruto, like when I think about scenes that I remember, one of the number one scenes that I remember is when Rock Lee took off the weights, and I was just like, oh, he did not. You know, it's like I don't know why, but the times that I did watch Naruto with Bro Vera, it was always like the iconic moments I think about. I think of like Naruto. Same thing with FMA, and how like the one episode that I first saw of Full Metal was the scene with the Nina episode. And so I was just like, dang, when I think back about like the times I decided to just, you know, sit down with Bro Vera and watch what he was watching, I would just end up seeing a lot of like the infamous or like the iconic moments of the series. So like the Rock Lee episode, and then the Nina episode, you know, and then there's some other ones too that I saw, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, I used to just watch Bro Vera, watch his shonen anime, you know. Oh yeah, Xena. Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool. Right, legendary scene. All right, here. Ta-da! Look, just look how they drew them. I was a sucker for this artist's style because I don't know, the way they drew them, like the shading of it was just so nice, and then the ship of the two of them looks so cute when they were drawn like that. You know, I was just like, oh, okay, all right, I kind of like that. I know, right? I was just like, the whole episode, like I know there's that one scene where I think Ukiura is like pointing his hand at her heart or something like that, you know, and they have like that side view of her gigantic personality. but I was just like, oh, there's some like angst going on between the two of them. And so there's a lot of art. There's a lot of art of these two that I was really into when I was younger. You understand? I understood it. Like even from someone that didn't watch it, I understood it, right? Because you know, it's like, I think just that scene where there's like the two of them looking at each other, right? Just the tension that they had, the angst that they had while they looked at each other with his hand reached out towards her, you know? That's enough. That's enough content right there for people to run wild, especially for fanfic writers. And so if you don't know, people that ship characters, they can have like the smallest bit of tension or like the smallest bit of characters having a moment together, and then they'll like run wild with it, you know? Like here, this is the scene right here. This is the scene that kind of like kickstarted the shipping for the two, I feel like, for those that shipped these two back then. If I can open this picture up. Hello. Right here. See. So if I pull this up right here, it's this scene in particular that was like the main fuel for the ship, okay? So right here, when he's like, just when I finally start taking an interest in you people, are you afraid of me, woman? You know, I don't know. I was just like, oh, you know, I didn't watch Bleach, but just because of that scene, I was like, I kind of want to watch Bleach just to see this, like, you know, the exchange between these two characters. And then he like disappears, you know, and she has like that look where she's like sad for him, right? The whole like, oh, he's just misunderstood. I can fix it. I don't know. That's kind of what I get from the panel right here from the anime, right? And so because of that, right? Because of that, you know, people kind of ran wild with the two of them and the art of the two and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, if people feel like an inkling of tension between characters, they will run wild with it. And the fan art that people do, like the power the artists have when they have a ship that they like, they can draw, they can like make their ship come to life with their art, you know? And so because of these artists that were shipping the two, it kind of made me, you know, join in with the ship because I was like, oh, I kind of like that ship. Oh man. Oh, I think I found more. I found more art from this from the artist. Oh, this here. This is okay. There's art here too, like this art drawn of the two of them right here. Like this one. Hi, Shiny Green Dino. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Look. Just, oh, come on. You can't tell me. Look at that. It's like a casual outfit Ukiura, and then you have, you know, like dressed up Orihime. Oh my goodness. They're looking like a very attractive couple. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay. Yeah, this was the type of art that made me have a ship in Bleach without having watched the anime, you know? And so I was like, oh my goodness, this art's kind of nice, you know? Oh my god, yesterday was your birthday. Well, I have something for you then, since it was your birthday yesterday. Don't worry, I got you, okay? I got you. That was my mic falling over. I'm so sorry. I had to take off my kalimba box out of my tower of boxes where my mic stands on right now, and then I lost balance of my mic. But here, this is for you, okay? Let me pause music real quick. All right, put my food tray down. This is for you, Shiny Green Dino, and for anyone that had a birthday recently. Okay, ready? And a 1 and a 2. Yay! お誕生日おめでとう! I hope that you had a wonderful birthday yesterday. And for anyone that had a birthday recently, I hope you also had a lovely birthday. But thank you so much for letting me know. I'm so sorry. I was at PAX yesterday, and so yeah, for those that did not know, that was the reason why I did not stream yesterday. Usually I stream on Saturdays, but yeah, I was at PAX West yesterday, and so I was not here on stream. But of course, no problem. I'm so sorry that I was not here. Hi Cosmo, welcome on in. Oh, thank you, Oni. All right, enough of me talking about my my ship between Ukiura and Orihime. Is it spoilers if I talk about the ships right now? Is it a spoiler to talk about it? I feel like it's been long enough to talk about it. Can I talk about it or no? Can I talk about the people who ended up together at the end of Bleach? My birthday, I believe, is in exactly 60 days. Octo, oh my gosh, your birthday is in 60. That's exciting. That's very exciting. I hope that you have a lovely birthday, Cosmo. I can't. Okay. For the longest time, I thought it was Rukia and Ichigo that are gonna end up together, not Orihime and Ichigo. I know Ukiura and Orihime weren't really gonna be a thing, but I was like, what do you mean? Rukia and Ichigo are not endgame. The whole entire time that I watched watch Bleach, every time that I saw them encounter each other, I thought that they were very much a couple. But no! You know, they had Ichigo end up with Orihime, and then they had Rukia end up with the red hair guy, right? Like her childhood friend or something like that. And so I kind of felt the same way too with the shippings that they ended off with in Naruto. I was just like, Sakura does end up with Sasuke, and then Hinata ends up with Naruto. Not saying that I don't like the couples. They kind of grew on me, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was completely unexpected from how I thought it was going to end. Just the way that they kept on trying to like push for them, you know, throughout like the series. I don't know. It just really caught me off guard. Like Naruto and Bleach, I just really thought, I was like, whoa, those couples were not what I thought it was gonna be. So I guess in a way, it kind of makes it less predictable for the couples that ended up together. But I was like, really? It's not Rukia and Ichigo? after all the moments they had together. But I was like, okay, well. I was just like, all right. Oh, you're a Halloween boy. Oh, do you like Halloween? I didn't want to say it's Halloween because I know for people that have birthdays that, you know, land on holidays, I feel like some people don't like the idea of like their birthday always being thought of as like the holiday. And so I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be like, oh my God, the same day as Halloween. Hi, Mod Rocker. Thank you for the welcome back. Thank you. I'm still shy. Even if you like acronym it to KO, I'm just like, I'm people shy. Thank you, Mod Rocker, for the welcome back. Also, Mod Rocker, I saw the contribution for the Miyabi cosplay on Throne. Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. I really appreciate that. Don't think I didn't see it. I want to make sure that I thanked you properly when I saw you. So thank you. Thank you so much. Elv! I have a P.O. box, actually. I do have a P.O. box. My P.O. box is still open back at home. But I'm gonna close that P.O. box by the end of this year. And then hopefully I can set up a P.O. box here too. But yeah. So my P.O. box is still open. But I think I'm gonna close it at the end of this year. Because that's when it's gonna renew. But yeah, it's open right now currently. Still. So if you want, I could DM you my P.O. box, Yellow Ring. But yeah, I don't have my P.O. box open to public. Just because I'm a little paranoid about having it out in the open like that. But thank you so much, Yellow Ring, for getting me something during your Osaka leg of your trip. That really means a lot. Thank you. We all thought, hi, Racy. I know, like, people were talking about it, like Ichigo and Orihime. Same with, like, Hinata and Naruto, or Sasuke and Sakura. But I don't know. I guess, like, with Sakura and Sasuke, Sakura, you know, she had, like, a huge crush on Sasuke. But that kind of made me think that they weren't going to end up together, you know? Because he was always pushing her away. And I didn't really see signs of, like, them together. And so I was like, oh my gosh, they actually paired off Sasuke and Sakura. And then Hinata with Naruto. I know Hinata had feelings for Naruto. But then Naruto, you know, he didn't really have feelings for anybody except for, like, poking fun at Sakura, you know? And so I was like, I thought it was going to be Sakura and Naruto. Not going to lie. I don't get Renji and Rukia, like, why? Rukia is completely platonic. Right! That's what I remember, too. I don't remember any sort of, like, moment that they had together with Renji and Rukia. I was just like, what the... Ichigo and Orihime have human lifespans, Rukia and Renji. But that's exactly why, you know? If they had, like, a relationship together, it would have, like, more of that, like, angst, you know? Of, like, the... I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for couples that have angst to them, you know, like that. I've heard many stories of, for example, like yokai falling in love with humans, right? And it's forbidden because yokai have longer lifespans, but then, you know, like for humans, right? They get to spend their whole lives with that yokai waifu or husbando, but then the yokai, they're sad that they only get to spend a snippet. Same thing with like vampires and humans, you know, that's a common trope, the whole like vampires and humans, yokai and humans, right? One outlives the other, but that's why it's so sweet, you know? You're just like, oh, your birthday is 3 days before Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's really cool. I feel like, I don't know, something about birthdays in February or just like in the spring seem really sweet. Do you like that? Or are you not a fan of your birthday being like 3 days before Valentine's Day, Oni? Oh, thank you, Mod Rocker. I hope so too. I'm really excited. It'll be my second ever cosplay. Sasuke literally tried to kill her at least 3 times. Apparently, in the manga, Naruto's romance with Hinata was so much better written. Ah, okay. I never read the manga, and so that could be, yeah, a big part as to what I missed out on. We were all disappointed in Sasuke winding up with anybody. Really? I don't know. I kind of like after watching Boruto scenes, I kind of like the pairing with Sakura and Sasuke. Like, I'm not gonna lie. From Naruto, it doesn't make sense. But then during Boruto, seeing them interact with each other, it's pretty cute. It's kind of sweet to see, you know, Sasuke being like the edgelord that he is. But then he has like a soft spot just for Sakura. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of sweet, you know? I was like, okay. I can, you know, understand the pairing. I wouldn't like Sakura with Naruto. Sakura never had such feelings for Naruto, and his feelings was childish infatuation that he kind of grew out of. Not forbidden love. It's just It's like the typical fanfic tropes, you know. I don't know. It's sweet. I grew up watching a bunch of like C dramas and K dramas and manga that I read, right, where it's always like there's a deity character and then there's a human, and then the human and the deity, they can't be together because it's forbidden, one, and then number two, you know, it's because the deity is gonna outlive the human, and so they're like, you can't be with me, human. I'm gonna live longer than you and you're gonna die before me. But then, you know, the human's like, no, but I love you and I want to love you while I can. And then, you know, the deity falls in love with them too, and then they like spend time with each other. But then, you know, the human passes away, and then they're just like, I still think about the memories of that time with that human. It's just, oh, it's so sad, but it's such like a pretty love story, like a beautiful love story, you know what I mean? I'm a sucker for those tropes. I don't know, it's really sweet. Oh my god, hi Yuki, welcome on in. Get a shout out for Yuki, please. Yes, I saw so many scenes with Sasuke and Sakura.
Mudracker94 gifted 3 months of tier 1 to
Mudracker!
Yukina. They gifted 146 months in the channel.
Mudracker, thank you for gifting a sub to Yuki. And not just a sub, but 3 months of subs to Yuki. Yuki, I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay as a tea bun for the next 3 months. Thank you. Thank you, Mudracker. Thank you. But yes, I saw so many scenes of specifically just like Sasuke and Sakura, you know? And I was just like, I'm eating it up. That their relationship is just so cute. I was just like, okay, I get it. I understand. I understand. Okay, yes. I know people always talk about like the true ship being Naruto and Sasuke, right? Because they did kiss. They actually kissed. You know, they actually kissed in the anime. And so, yes, I know. Trust me, I saw those AMVs. You know, I saw them AMVs of Naruto and Sasuke being shipped together, especially with the kiss. And so, I know that was like one of the OG ships. There was built up for Hinata and Naruto in the war arc. And then reincarnation. Yes, like the reincarnation, like how oh my god, I'm a sucker for that. Like you know, when like the human that they loved ends up being like reincarnated, and then they like end up finding each other again in like the next life. I'm just like, oh, that's why for Kobato, a little spoiler for Kobato, but it's been years since the anime came out. But for Kobato, you know, there's reincarnation that happens, you know, and they find each other again at the end of the anime, and I'm just like crying my eyes out. I'm just like, I was a sucker for tropes like that. Something about, you know, just like finding that, like falling in love with someone, but then, you know, you can't find them again, but then you can't be with them, but then you find them again, even in like the lives to come afterwards. You're just like, you're like my heart. I don't know. I love stories like that. But yeah, Kobato especially was one of my favorites when it came to that trope. Same with Clamp. Clamp is all about that, I feel like. Clamp is all about that whole timeline of like having a couple, but then like that couple ends up not being able to be together, but then they find themselves in like their reincarnated lives, you know, again. Or it's like one character looking for the other character afterwards in the next life, you know? God, I love that trope. I love tropes like that. Just so much angst, but so good. So good. True romance is Kiba and Fang over Fang. I don't know who they are. oh, actually, no. You know what true love is? True love is that. Wasn't there this like girl, a red hair girl that was like really into Sasuke when Sasuke was, or no, was that Sasuke? I forget. There's just like one red hair girl that was really into, I think Sasuke, right? She was like fangirl. I thought they were gonna end up together, not gonna lie. I thought they wouldn't be a thing for some reason, from what I saw. The big struggle is that the one who knows about the reincarnation tries to get the person who doesn't know to like them again or something. Yes! But the thing is, right, it's because it's like true love that it's meant to be, that they don't really have to like do much for them to feel the same feelings that they felt again. Same thing with Kami-sama Kiss, you know? If you've ever seen Kami-sama Hajimemashite, they talk about the whole like reincarnation, you know? And how like Tomoe, you know, talked about how he would never stop looking for her, even though that was technically her, because she time traveled back in time to save him, right? And so there's like that timeline of like, oh, okay, so technically it's like the grandfather what's it called? Complex, right? Or not complex. I guess it is complex, right? It's like the contradiction of it. It's like, you know, the whole like time travel of like, oh, you know, your grandfather, you know. Paradox! That's what it's called. Yes, paradox. Yes. The grandfather paradox. And if you guys don't know what that is, the grandfather paradox essentially is that, you know, you wouldn't be here if your grandfather, you know, was not alive. And so the person goes back in time, you know, to meet their grandfather. But the person ends up saving their grandfather in order for the grandfather to not die. But then because of that, it's like, how does that make sense though, right? Because you didn't exist back then when your grandfather was originally alive. And so if you go back to save him, how does that make sense that you're there? Because technically you shouldn't exist, you know? You know what I mean? It's like the thing with if you've seen Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter, that one movie where, you know, Harry Potter wants to meet his dad and he thinks that, you know, his dad saves him at the lake from all the evil flying monsters. I forget what they're called. And then he finds out later on when he time travels that it was him and his Patronus that saves him in the past. But then you're like, wait a minute, how does that work though? Because, you know, technically you wouldn't be alive because in that timeline, you know, you would have had to already exist, you know? It's a perfect loop, but it's also a really big paradox when it comes to time travel. And I'm a sucker for time travel tropes. And so it's questions like that make my brain, you know, spin. And it's interesting to think about. You're just like, how does that work, you know? Same thing with Steins Gate, you know? In Steins Gate, I don't want, you know, I think it's been long enough to say it now, but in Steins Gate, there's a scene where Okabe, you know, he goes to save Kurisu, right? But when he first experiences that scene where Kurisu did die, right? It was a timeline where he kind of just watched it happen. And then he goes back to save her, but he ends up almost dying. And so you're just like, how does that work? Because technically, he didn't know Kurisu back then. And so it technically was him. You know? You're just like, oh. It's interesting. I really like paradoxes. Like time travel paradox really makes me think, you know? I'm a sucker for time travel stories. There's another paradox similar to that called the bootstrap paradox. For example, if you go back in time with a novel written by a famous author and give it to the author before they write it, then they write the book, which you eventually receive and take back in time. The book has... Exactly, right? Yeah, it's like that type of paradox. You're just like, it's just so interesting to think about, you know? Hi, Gary. Welcome on in. That's why you avoid time travel stories. Time travel always breaks my brain. I always keeping an eye out. Yeah, right? Because, you know, we call it a paradox, but a lot of times you can also call it a contradiction. That just doesn't make sense in the story plot, you know? It can be like a plot hole. And so, yeah, I feel like with time travel, it can be written in a way where it's very interesting to think about. But then if you do it wrong, then it's just going to seem kind of just like a cheap out in a sense. You know what I mean? Like there are some stories I read that have time travel that feel like they're just kind of cheaping out on an ending by making it time travel. And you're just like, oh, it doesn't really make sense, you know? Has to work. Yeah, exactly, Yellow Ring. Yeah, like in Futurama. I haven't seen the episode, but people have told me about it. Yeah. Yes, hard to get it right with so many variables. Yes. Literally 4D chess. Yes. Speaking of talking about ships and time travel, I still can't get over how in Erased, I know he didn't save her to get with her, but at the same time, I was like, come on now, you know? I was just like, she ends up with the other guy? She ends up with the guy that he also ends up saving, which was like his childhood friend. I had no inkling of them being like a couple, and so I was just like, okay. I thought maybe, just maybe, that they're gonna end up being like a couple in a race, you know, for the girl that he saves, right? But I did read the manga afterwards, and then I feel like the ending with the other girl did make a bit more sense to me after reading the manga ending versus like the anime ending. But yeah, for that one though, it kind of threw me for a loop when he wakes up from his coma, and then the girl ends up with the other guy, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But I came around to it, you know. I don't know. I thought they were really cute the way that they were interacting together in like the childhood arc of it, right? I am a fan of like the childhood friends too trope, right? Where they're like childhood friends and then they end up together. And so I thought they're gonna do that, you know, like maybe, you know, they were childhood friends or not childhood friends, maybe they bonded during their childhood. And so, you know, like she ends up liking him. And so it threw me off for a loop at the beginning when I first read it. But then the more I read about it, the more I was like, okay, you know, I kind of like that they didn't make them a couple at the same time, you know, because just because he was her savior, he never, you know, brought it up in a way like, oh yeah, I saved her, you know. And so it kind of made it more genuine, I guess, in his intentions of like why he wanted to save her, just because, you know, same thing with his mom. He just wanted to save his mom, right? And so I was like, okay, I came around to liking that they didn't end up being a couple. And then once again, the couple with the other, it's like the guy with the other girl made more sense after reading the manga. Because I remember when they ended up together in the anime, I was just like, that came out of left field. But then in the manga, they had more interactions with each other. And so I was like, oh, that makes more sense. A paradox is a statement that is not logically correct because it can't be true or false. Yeah. Like the phrase itself, the sentence is false. Exactly. Yes. What do you mean, Orange Soda? What do you mean you're one of those viewers? What does that mean? Huh? All the young viewers who haven't watched these classes getting spoiled. I am spoiling, but I just feel like, you know, it's been long enough that I can talk about it. You know, and I do kind of bring it up so they could have, I feel like, you know, whenever, like for example, when I watch people talk about anime or a series that I don't want spoilers, so I'll just mute them. I'll mute them for a little bit and then I'm like, okay. If you ever watched the movie The Time Machine with Guy Pearce, poor guy builds him a time machine to save his fiancée. He fails miserably multiple times. At the end, it was explained to him that it was the fiancée's death that pushed him to make the time machine. If she had lived, he would have never built the machine. Therefore, time travel wouldn't exist. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I think so too, yeah. I feel like the villain was a little too obvious for Erased. Yeah. Like with Higurashi too. Higurashi, you know, they dive more deeper into the time travel aspect. In Higurashi, I think Kai was the second season, right? And that one I think was a little more interesting in the way that they kind of revealed the villain. But yeah, for Erased, although I like time travel, I do feel like, yeah, the villain was quite obvious in that story. So as much as I liked it, it wasn't my favorite amongst time travel series. Some of the worst examples of time travel is the Terminator. Oh, Futurama also made fun of the time machine. Really? You know, as much of a fan as I am of time travel, I never watched Back to the Future when I was younger. Because when I was little, they would always air Back to the Future, but they would always air the second movie on TV. And so every time that I watched it, I didn't want to spoil myself. And so I never watched Back to the Future until I was on the plane ride here on the move. And so I watched it. I watched Back to the Future finally on the plane ride here. And so it was really nice. You know, I was just like, finally, I get to watch Back to the Future. And I really enjoyed it. You know, I was like, you know, I can see why it's such a classic. It's real nice. Time to get some rest. No worries, Bio. I hope that you get lots of rest. Sweet dreams. Thank you for hanging out today. Good night, Bio. Thank you. Yes. The butterfly effect. Yeah, Erased and Steins Gate, right? Yeah, they touch upon the butterfly effect. And that's a really interesting effect too. You know, you don't really... I feel like you can have time travel without the butterfly effect, but you can't have the butterfly effect without time travel. And so it's interesting when they talk about it for different series, right? And for those who don't know, when it comes to time travel, the butterfly effect is that essentially, if you go back in time, something as minute as a butterfly flapping its wing differently or flapping its wing in general, if it didn't flap it in a certain way, can affect the entire timeline of that timeline that you're in, right? And so they essentially talk about it to talk about the dangers of changing things in time if you time travel. And so it's really interesting when you think about it. You're just like, whoa, you know, even the single flap of a butterfly can change the entire timeline. Also, is it Suzanne or Susano? Thank you so much for the follow, Susano Exia. I hope you enjoy your stay. Chaos theory in action, yeah. I thought the butterfly effect is that too. It can mean it could be the butterfly flapping its wings. It could be the butterfly being killed. Essentially, yeah, the TLDR of it is like, or the essence of it is that even something as small as a butterfly affecting something or being affected can change the timeline of it. A single transformation to Chongbeer can change the course of time. Exactly. Yes, yes. I've never seen the butterfly effect movie. I've only heard about it in theories. I feel old now because I googled the time that the movie came out. No, Zeta! Don't say that. Don't say that. You have to keep in mind too. I didn't have cable for like the longest time, you know, growing up because we weren't all off to have cable, and so a lot of stuff that I watched came a lot later compared to like when people got to watch them around my age too. And so a lot of stuff I watched a lot later in life because I just didn't have cable growing up for a long time. But yeah, same thing too, right? Like there's another theory. I forget the name of this theory, but there's another theory, or I guess it's like the multiverse theory, right? If you talk about multiverse, the multiverse, you know, talks about how like every decision you make splits off into a different timeline, you know? And so, for example, even something as simple as like choosing what you eat for breakfast, right? If you want like eggs and toast, or if you want like coffee just for breakfast, you know, there's a timeline, right? There's a multiverse where one, you went with the coffee and then the rest of your day is different, versus the other timeline where you had eggs and toast and the rest of your day is different. And so when you really think about it, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just interesting to think about it, especially for stories, you know? I think it's interesting for stories, just how there's so many timelines, so many, you know, world lines, if you're talking about Steins Gate, you know, theory of it. I was wandering around until I saw you. Oh, Susano! It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for stumbling into our tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay. How you doing today? Somewhere in the far-flung future, the galaxy is ruled by chonkers. Yeah, we have Chongvira. We have all the chonky mascots. Exactly. No, don't say that, Xena. No. No old, okay? If you're saying you're old, that makes me old. No. Imagine punching a T-Rex on the leg, and today we are all Chunk Noise and Chunk Vera saying, "This is not my usual form, but for now I'm Woman Vera." Oh, that makes me think about another favorite movie of mine, Meet the Robinsons. I love Meet the Robinsons, and then Meet the Robinsons, they kind of talk about time travel too, you know, right? The whole theory of like going back in time, and then this affecting that, and you know, and so it's really cool. Oh, no, you're fine, Susano. Yeah, so for anyone that's tuning in just now, we're just talking about how stories talk about time travel. There are stories that talk about multiverse, right? And then a lot of my members right now in the community are just kind of giving examples of how something can affect another timeline, essentially. But for people talking about Chongvira, I have a bunny form that I transform into that we call Chongvira. And so, yeah, they're kind of just making fun of like if Chongvira affected the entirety of the timeline. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask. I know sometimes when you like stumble into the middle of a conversation during stream, you're just like, what is going on? Buh. You know, you're like, buh. Bye, dude.
Elvi Peak.
Peak? You say peak? Did you say peak? You said peak. TTS said peak. But hi, Vadu. Thank you for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You debated that the multiverse and branching lines are one and the same. I say that the two are separate because multiverse time travel isn't actually time travel. It's fully on reality transversal. Right? In Steins Gate, you know, they talk about time travel, but it's not necessarily just time travel. For Steins Gate, they're talking about jumping world lines, you know? Because the theory in there, I think, I don't remember the exact details because it's been so long, but in Steins Gate, right, Okabe, he travels world lines in order to try to find the world line where these people in his life that were killed are both alive, you know? And so for the first one, when he was jumping world lines, it was already difficult enough to find a world line where this one person survived, right? And so he found it. He found that world line where the person survives. But then he was trying to find like the alpha world line where 2 people survive, because it was kind of like if this person dies, the other person has to die, you know? And so he wanted both to be alive. And so it was super hard for him to find the exact world line where both people survive, you know? But then they talk about like the effects of him not being in his actual world line that he's supposed to be in Science Gate Zero, right? And so it's just really intriguing to think about it, you know? Like if you did jump world lines, how would that happen? How would the toll on your body affect you being in a world line that you're not supposed to be in, right? Even though that's the line that he wants to be in. And so yeah, there's so much in the umbrella term of like time travel and like the topic of time travel. And so it's just, I don't know, it's really intriguing to think about it when it comes to stories for either anime or just books, right? Or just movies, TV shows. It's just really interesting. It's been something that I've always been interested in. It's just like, you know, the concept of like time travel and multiverse, and you're just like, oh, and then, you know, the tropes of like the deities and reincarnation, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, in the evil timeline, hello. What the heck? Whoa, loser. Whoa. Hold on, that sounds like an evil timeline. What do you mean you won't see the puppies again? A cat girl? You think I'd be a cat girl in like an alternative timeline? I don't know. You know how people talk about like, I don't know if you know, but there are like some places around the world where they'll talk about the dating world, you know? And they would talk about like how girls or guys can be like specific animals, you know? And so you see it more like eastern side of the world. But for guys, you know, they'll describe like how some guys, for example, can be more of like golden retriever type, or how some guys are more of like the black cat type, you know? Same thing with girls. They'll be like, oh, this girl's more of like a black cat or more of like a golden retriever. And so there's like a bunch of quizzes out there that they touch upon where they're like, oh yeah, you know, there's a hamster girl, a cat girl, a bunny girl, there's a dog girl. Same thing with the guys. There's like a dog guy, cat guy, hamster guy, right? And so I don't know. I don't know why I would be like, just like in general for the debate of like if you're more of like a dog or a cat. I used to think about it, I was like, if I was a dog or a cat, what would I be? I don't know. I used to think more of like a cat because I like to sleep a lot. But then I was like, I don't know. Would I be more of like a dog? I don't know. What do you guys think? Would I be more of like a dog or a cat if you guys were to see me other than like Bunny, Benoy? Oh, you want to be a bird because of flying. Oh, that'd be really cool. Like, being a bird sounds really cool. A chunky cow. Yes. Another world, another timeline. I am one of the story of season chunky cows. Yes. Sounds like Zootopia. I love Zootopia. I saw the trailer for Zootopia 2 when we went to go watch K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters, and I am so excited. I freaking love Zootopia. I don't know why. I just really like Judy Hopps. You know, I love her. Alternative timeline, Elveira being mean. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, you know, I'll be like, I hope you go to bed and you have both sides of your pillow being warm. Oh yeah, Spider-Verse. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the popular series nowadays have been really tapping into the multiverse. You know, the Spider-Verse. There's the multiverse, right, for Doctor Strange and Marvel in general, right? Yeah. Aw, thank you, Silva. Thank you. Elveira is just cat girl in black stockings and fake bunny ears, headband. Oh, that's evil. See, Silva, that's evil. You see, that's evil. You know, when I say it more just for like the jokes, you know. But if I was evil, Vera, you know, I'd be like, I hope that when you put your sock on, you have a hole in your sock, but your toe sticks out of the hole, and so it's annoying because now you feel the hole around your toe the entire day as you're wearing your sock. Yeah. That definitely did not happen to me recently and bugged the heck out of me. A chihuahua? You think I'd be a chihuahua if I was like an animal between a dog or a cat? I like how you specify. You weren't even like, yeah, you'd be more of a dog. You really said, no, yeah, you'd be a chihuahua. Would I be a chihuahua? Are you trying to make fun of my height? It's because I'm small. Yeah, both sides of the pillow being warm. Yeah. Even meaner. Okay. I guess Elveira will be the one to like cut the hole in the sock, right? Oh, a hen! Wait, no, that's not weird at all, Sleeper Shark. That's really cute. I love chickens. You know, hens are actually terrifying. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but if you ever go to try to grab chicken eggs from hens, they can be very aggressive. They can be very aggressive. Raya, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Hello. Oh my gosh, I forgot earlier to do this, but whenever we get a raid, I like to do a little something to welcome in the raiders. But hi, everyone. Oh, pachoo. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay here at our tea party. Hi, everyone. But yes, for anyone that's new here, my name is Elveira, and today we are just kind of yapping. I'm kind of just chatting right now with the community members about time travel and multiverse. Ooh. But yeah, if you like listening to, me chat, or if you want to chat, or if you're more of a lurker, then this is the stream for you. You can chat with us, you can listen to me chat, or you can just lurk here and listen as well. If you want to hang out more on more on the side, yes. But how's your stream, Raya? I hope you had a wonderful time with your community. You're playing Helldivers! How's Helldivers? Hope you had fun. Yeah, we're currently talking about, I asked my lovely members of the community what they would see me as if I were to be an animal other than a bunny, Because I am Bunvira, but if I wasn't a bunny, if I wasn't a bunoi, what would I be? And so far, I've heard Chihuahua, I've heard a hen, I've heard a black cat. I've heard a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I am bunoi. I do be a... You did not. Really? Again with raiders? Are you kidding me? Alright, okay. Huh. Alright, well, to give you an example, this is me, okay, as Chongvira in my Chong Bun form, okay, alright. And so, yes, raiders, this is what I actually, look like as a Chongvira, as Bunvira, okay? Alright, but this is not my real form. My real form is my human form. And so, don't be expecting me to be in this form, alright? At all times, alright? Okay. Also, Captain Daniel and the Pun Master 30,000. Thank you so much for the follows. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you. Not true form. Super fun with both lots of bots for democracy. Hey, let's go, Ray. Hey, that sounds really fun. I haven't played Helldivers, but I've seen people play, and it looks pretty fun. It looks really fun. But yeah, Raya, if you need to head off to wind down after stream, please feel free to do so. But thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. A squirrel! Ooh. Gotta cook dinner. Okay, no worries. I hope you enjoy your lurk, and I hope cooking dinner goes well. But yes, please go check out Raya if y'all have not already. The googly eyes. Oh my. Hold on. Let me get those out. Okay. 1 and 2. I wish I could just copy and paste the eye after I make it, so it's the exact same size. Easy. Who did that? Excuse me. A Pomeranian? You think I'd be a Pomeranian? Okay. So y'all think I'd be a small dog. A small dog is what I'm seeing more of. Do you guys concur? Do you think I'd be more of a small doge? Either like a Chihuahua or a Pomeranian? I have hiccups. It was great. Oh, I'm glad. But yeah, we just chit-chat. Also, hello Terminus. Hello Choir. Welcome on in to y'all as well. Thank you for joining in. Me? I give you Golden Retriever vibes? Oh, okay. Okay, big dog. I accept that. I love golden retrievers. I think they're super cute. A parakeet? Why? Because I'm yapping all the time. I can't make parakeet sounds. How do birds sound? They're like tweet tweet. I was kidding. That's like Tweety Bird. How do they sound? They're like no, it's more of like a rodent. I don't know. I can't make bird noises except for like caw. A third googly eye that sees all. No. I'm drinking my tea. What do you mean, Zoe? Oh, okay, I, you know, that's true. Zoe does say caca, okay, in K-pop Demon Hunters, but you know, caca existed before Zoe from K-pop Demon Hunters, okay? All right, people have been saying caca many, many times before Zoe said it in K-pop Demon Hunters. A mallard. Oh, because I'm always quacking. Joke's on you. I love ducks. I love ducks. You know, I used to have 2 pet ducks, and they were so cute. They were adorable. They were very cute. They would be very noisy, you know, especially when it's time for me to feed them. But they were so cute, and I loved them. But you know what's kind of funny? I don't really. I don't know. When it comes to animals, I don't really talk a lot around them, even though you think I would talk to them a lot, right? But I'm an introvert. I'm a big introvert. And so whenever I know I've gone to parties and then there's like pets that people have, other people are chatting, you know, like amongst themselves. And you would think that I'd be someone that's like chatting with them too, you know, with how much I talk here. But I just spend the whole time pretty much playing with the pets. I just kind of go to the pets and play with them the entire time. And then if someone wants to talk to me, I'll talk with them. But I'm not really the type to like go out of my way and talk to people because I'm shy. I'm really shy. And so I get shy. I don't know how to start conversations. But if someone talks to me first, I can, you know, talk with them. I'm fine holding conversation, but I'm not one to like start a conversation, you know? Hi, basically. No, I don't talk to myself. No. Hi, basically. Welcome on in. Same. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I thought about it, right? Like Bro Vera, he's been trying to be more talkative, especially at weddings and stuff. And so we had gone to a wedding like in the past few years, and so he, you know, I was very surprised. I was very impressed. He was going up to like a bunch of the circles of people that are already talking with themselves. And one, for me, I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm bothering people if I go up to a circle that's already like chatting amongst themselves, you know? And so I don't go up to them. And then 2, I don't really go up to new people that I don't know to talk, right? And so Bro Veer, he just like walked right up into a circle of people and started talking to them. And you know, he just kind of like he just adapted, and then they took him into the circle and started talking to him. And then for me, I was just kind of by the drinks table, you know, the punch table. I just drank and just kind of stood there. I don't mind though, like I don't mind being by myself, but I don't go up to people and start chit-chatting because I'm really shy, you know. I like talking, but I'm very shy with new people. You don't really come off as someone shy. It's because I'm comfortable here. If I'm comfortable with someone, I definitely don't seem like I'm shy. But, you know, it's only the people I'm comfortable with. Hence why here on stream, you know, I feel like this space I'm very comfortable in. You know, I have people that I talk to usually. And then when we meet new people here, you know, it's like, wow, you know, you guys are part of the crew already in my brain. And so it's very easy for me to talk to y'all because it's fun time. I'm having fun, you know. I like to chit chat with y'all, but then in person it's different, you know. In person I'm just like, I don't know if they're cool like that, you know. I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, talk with them, and or I don't know how to describe it. It's like I think it's from like, you know, like back in the day when things like watching anime were something that you don't really talk about publicly, you know, before anime was mainstream. And so back then I just didn't really have a lot to contribute to conversations that people talked about. Like when I was in middle school, they would always talk about going to like Aeropastel and going to like American Eagle and, you know, going to like watch movies every weekend. And I couldn't do that, you know? And so I didn't really have anything to contribute to the conversation. And you know what someone said to me? Someone said to me, they're like, you know, Elveira, you're really quiet. Kind of weird. And I'm just like, and I feel like ever since that moment, I was just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, all right. I guess I'm weird because I don't really talk too much, you know, in a conversation that I don't really know what to contribute to. And so, yeah, I just get really shy. I don't know. But that was like, what, like middle school me? Now that I'm older, it's more so like, I can talk. Like if someone wants to have a conversation, I can have a conversation, right? But I just don't really start conversations. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Oni. Welcome back from the ads. Can't start conversations or hold them. Just doesn't compete in my brain. And that's okay too. It's like same thing too. Some people are better at, you know, having conversations through text versus like having conversations in person. I think so too, Sleeper Shark. I think so too. Yeah. Like I you know, from streaming and from VTubing, I definitely feel like I've, you know, met some lovely people and made some lovely friends. I've talked about it, how I am that, you know, I'm that introvert that got adopted by a couple of extroverts that reached out to me first. And I was just like, oh, hello. Sure. I've never done a game. And then, yeah, from there, that's how the friendships develop. I'm just like, oh, it's like real life, you know? An extrovert comes up to me, asks me a question, and then we start talking and then become friends. Yeah. Cheese Benoit. Don't just get next to one unless you want to run. Yeah, I have some people that just like, I think about it, you know, Like back in university, I was in the library. I had my headphones in, you know, I'm eating my lunch, just kind of watching my own thing on my phone. And then this guy sits down next to me and he starts to talk to me, but I have my headphones in. So I take out my headphones and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying? And he was just like, hey. And I was like, hi. Did you need something? And he's like, no, I just wanted to say hi. And I was like, oh, hi. And then he leaves. And so I was just like, what? I was so confused. I was just like, to this day I think about it. I'm just like, what did he want? Did he want to talk? Did he want something? I don't know. I just was very caught off guard. But then I'm like, oh, maybe it's just like extrovert things, you know? Maybe they just wanted to like come up and say hi. I don't know. Also, thank you for the follow. Is it Uwe? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on it. I hope you enjoy your stay, Uwe. Maybe he wanted to see what you were watching. Oh, but see, like I feel like if he had actually wanted that, maybe he would have like asked, like, what are you watching? You know. But it was just so weird. He didn't continue the conversation. He just said hi and said that he wanted to say hi, and then he left. And I was just sitting there like, huh? What the heck is that name? No rabbits will be beating up anything. No. Hello there, welcome on it. Thank you for the follow. No rabbits will beat up other things here. No. How do you think VTubing allows you to grow and learn as a person? Oh, that's a big question. I definitely feel like it's kind of pushed me to be a little bit more social compared to before. Like, I'm still really shy, but I feel like there's some instances where I feel like I've gone a little less shy. At least like in terms of like reaching out to people to play games and stuff, or for collabs. Cause I don't know. I just like, even if I've talked to people for a while, I don't want to bother them. You know, I always feel like I'm bothering people if I reach out to them, because I'm like, oh, if they're busy, what if they're doing something, you know? But I feel like it's kind of funny. Like especially with Marvel Rivals this year at the very beginning when I was doing my outfit subathon debut. I really feel like that time was where I kind of really just kind of switched gears and like, you know what? I am gonna ask people, you know? I'm just like, you know what? I want to play games with friends, and so I will ask them. And so Marvel kind of kicked that off with where I start to ask people more if they want to play games with me, you know? And so since then, I feel like I've been more the one to like initiate for collabs or for games and whatnot, you know, just to ask. My brain has gone from like, oh, it's scary to ask, to like, oh, it's scary to ask, but you know, maybe they might want to play, you know. So I'm just like, it can't hurt to ask, you know. And I'm completely fine if the person's busy or if someone, you know, doesn't want to play. I'm just like, that's fine, you know. But I'm happy that I asked, and so I guess that's like one thing that I've kind of grown in terms of like, yeah, being more social. Yeah. Also, is it Jung Julian, or is it like Huang Julian? Thank you for the follow. Come on in. I hope you enjoy your stay. Welcome. Hello, beat 'em up. How you doing today? That emote is so cute. He might be like on the. Oh, you think so? No, I don't know. For me, I just thought it was just like someone that wanted to be social. Because it's not the first time. I've had other people come up to me too, where they just like start conversation with me in the library. Like that guy wasn't the only guy. I've had other people come up to me, you know. But usually, yeah, it's like it'll be a guy that comes up to me and they'll like be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'll be like, "Oh, hi, I'm doing well." And then they'll be like, "What major are you in?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm in this major." And then we talk about like our majors for a second. And then they'll be like, "Okay, bye." And I'll be like, "Oh, bye." I think they're wholesome. I think those are pretty wholesome interactions, you know? It sounds like you're able to learn more about social interactions. Yeah! There's like a lot more too. Like if I wanted to, maybe one day I'll do like a whole video of what I've learned or what VTubing has taught me, you know? But yeah, that's like, I guess, on topic of socializing. I've become a little more social. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Maybe you just look friendly. You think so? I'd be happy if that was the case. You know, I'd be happy if that was the case where I look like someone that is sociable, but then they find out I'm a shy introvert. Also, Chongmira, Jover, everyone say goodbye. I'm going back to Humanbira. Huh. Hold. It sounds kind of goofy with the reverb. Okay, I am back as Humanbira. Hello, I'm back. Wow, I'm back to my human form. I feel like I've been in Chongweir form like the entire day today. Yeah, human form. Hi, hello. It sounds cool, like sleep. I mean, VTubing etiquette, I feel like has been kind of similar to streamer etiquette, you know. There's some things I did learn though, for sure. Like I didn't know what graduating meant in the very beginning, right? And so I learned the VTuber version of like graduations versus, you know, graduation in the more like general sense of it, if that makes sense. Thank you for the welcome back. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've learned. But yeah, I know I was transforming all day today, all day. But yeah, I feel like that pretty much the main thing I think about, at least in terms of socializing, is that yes, there is like VTubing etiquette, but it's not too different from like streamer etiquette, you know? Like you don't just pop into someone's stream and then you start talking about your stream, especially if you don't know them, right? Even like for me, like, you know, when it comes to friends, I don't just pop into a friend's stream and start talking about my own streams, you know? Because I just feel like I want the attention to stay on the person that's streaming, and I think it's kind of rude to just start talking about my own stream, unless they were to like ask about it. That's a different story. But yeah, I feel like streamer etiquette versus like VTubing etiquette is kind of similar, you know? But yeah, I will say like in terms of streaming, I feel like there was a lot that I learned at the very beginning. A lot of the times, if you ever want to be a streamer, for anyone that is thinking about it in chat, I highly recommend to not watch the videos where it's like the people on YouTube that are like top 10 things that I didn't know, or top 10 things that you should do to grow on Twitch, you know? Because I've seen those videos and they are pretty much like exactly opposite of what stream etiquette is. Like I remember one of the tips that I saw in a video, right? They were like, yeah, you know what you should do? You should go into a really big streamer's stream 10 minutes before you start your stream, and then you talk in their stream, and then before you leave, you say, hey, I'm gonna go stream, so I will see you next time. And then essentially they're like, that's the way for you to let people know that you're streaming so they come to your stream. Number one, don't ever do that, okay? Don't ever do that, because it just comes off as so rude. You know what I mean? It's like you go to, you know, someone's party, right? Someone's hosting a party, and then as you're leaving the party, you're like, hey guys, I'm about to have a party in about 10 minutes. So I'll see you guys later, okay? You know, you're essentially going to someone's party and being like, hey, I have a party. You want to come to my party instead? You know, when you've only been there for like 10 minutes, or you're just there just to kind of like yoink their viewers type of thing. It just, yeah, I remember hearing stuff about that, like, and I was just like, what are they talking about? Oh my god, yeah, there's that one video of Ninja telling people to call out their lurkers, you know, to like, I think he said something along the lines of like, make sure that you make your viewers feel heard, and so this includes the lurkers, and so you want to go into your viewer list and say hi to everybody. And I was just like, oh my god, that's definitely something that you don't want to do. Like for me, I'm a lurker, you know, I lurk a lot. Even before I began streaming, I lurk a lot, and so that gave me like anxiety just from hearing him say that, because sometimes like for example, if it's, you know, a friend's stream, I don't mind, you know, if they say something, just because we have that rapport and we have that, you know, familiarity. But if it's like I'm lurking in someone's stream that I've never interacted with before, and I'm just more of a viewer there, and they try to call me out, I'd be like,
Hi lurkers, smile.
Truly, thank you so much for the resub at 57 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop, ma'am. I hope you enjoy your stay as a tea bun. Thank you, Truly. Thank you for using your Prime on me. I love you or something, you know. But hi, Truly. How you doing? Yeah, self-promo, right? You're being rude. You're just kind of popping in to try yoink their viewers, right? Clout chasing, essentially-ish, in a way. And then with the ninja advice, it makes him sound like he's never streamed before, because people don't do that, you know? They don't call out their lurkers. Because some people just want to lurk, and some people don't want to be called out. And so, yeah, stuff like that. You see tips like that in a lot of videos where they're like, how to grow as a streamer on Twitch. And you're just like, I don't know about that, you know? Yeah, consideration is one of my core values. Exactly, right? It's like some people just want to hang out there and not really interact. I love you too, I guess. How you doing? I think it really depends on the people you're giving shoutouts to. A quiet lurker may feel like forced. Exactly, right? Like some people just kind of want to not participate, right? Or some people might just want to just kind of chill and not really have the attention on them, you know? And so it's like for example, with Twirly, right? Twirly is a good friend of mine. But, you know, sometimes, like, if I see her lurking, I'm not gonna be like, hey Twirly, I see you lurking, you know, out of nowhere. That's kind of much sometimes, because what if Twirly just wants to lurk, right? But on the flip side of things, you know, Twirly and I are really close. And so, for example, if I was like, I'm gonna play some Peak, I would not call her out, but I can see some close friends that would be like, hey, I see you in there. You want to play right now? I see you lurking. And so, you know, some people are cool with that, right? And like I said, I'm cool with that if it's people that I'm friends with, right? But some other people might not be cool with that. And so for me, I'm more of someone that will just kind of like DM people, because I don't want to call them out on stream, put that pressure. And so I'll just like DM them. But it depends on person to person. Some people are okay with it. Some people are not okay with it. Because I'm okay with it. Like if Turley were to be like, hey El, I see you in there. You want to play? I'm playing. I'm down. Yeah, exactly. Some people might just be like chilling or like doing chores or like working, you know, on the side. Exactly. Yeah. Presence versus participation. Yeah. Exactly, right? You just want to be there sometimes when you lurk as opposed to like actively chatting. Yeah. Oh my god, Trilly. Oh, I'm her girlfriend. Hi, Bao Bao. Not the friend zone. What the? Hey, what are you talking about? I like to think the amount of rapport and trust you have with a person. Yes, it is so important. The amount of rapport that you have with someone and the trust, you know, it's very important, especially in the socializing aspect of it, you know? Same thing too with the people that banter. Like I have friends that I'm okay with bantering with, right? Like we can banter, but there are friends that I talk to as well that also don't banter. And so, yeah, it's like some people you banter, some people you don't banter. And same thing too with the way you talk to different people. Some people, you know, are okay with talking a certain way, and some people are not okay talking a certain way. And so it just really depends. It really depends on each person's, you know, bond with the other person. Hi, Soup. Hi, Airstep. Can we get a shout out for Airstep, please? Welcome on in, Airstep. How you doing today? Not the welcome to the club. What the heck are you guys talking about? Real Kappa. Oh my god, the golden Kappa. I forgot about the gold Kappa that we have for 7TV. True Kappa. Dang. I don't remember how we went from talking about my personal favorite ship of Ukiura and Orihime to this conversation. I'm just like, how did we get here? We were talking about my ships, you know, in anime, and then being caught off guard by the couples that ended up together in Naruto and in Bleach. I don't know, Charlie. I was talking earlier about how I shipped Ukiura and Orihime together, and I was very surprised by like Ichigo ending up with Orihime instead of Rukia, and then now I blinked, and now we're here talking about like streamer etiquette. Oh yes, we did talk about time travel. We talked about time travel too. Yeah. And then we talked about like what animal I would be if I wasn't a bunny. I'm sorry, Steph. I'm sorry. But yes, Ichigo does not end up with Rukia. That's what I thought too. I was also surprised. I was just like, what do you mean they don't end up together? They had so many moments together, you know, in the anime. And I didn't watch it like that. I watched it with Brovira whenever he was watching. And so I really thought that Ichigo and Rukia had a thing. And then all of a sudden, Ichigo ends up with Orihime. And I'm like, oh. Want to hear my... Okay, I'm down. Yeah, let's hear who your Avatar Last Airbender ship is. Is it Korra? Not Korra. Is it Katara and Zuko? World's biggest anti-spoiler advocate, hair spoiling. I talked about it earlier, but I did forget to say spoiler warning for me talking about it now. But earlier I did say spoilers for Bleach. I thought they were Endgame. Oh, you watched 50 episodes? Oh my god, I forgot there were so many episodes of Bleach. He said she was like his sister. Oh, he sister zoned Rukia. Oh, I see. Aang and Mei? You think Aang and Mei? Okay, you gotta tell me why, Himbo. You gotta tell me why. I have never ever heard anyone say Aang and Mei together as like a couple for Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's interesting. That's a very interesting ship to have. I've never heard of that before. I've heard of like Katara and Zuko. I've heard of Aang with the other girl. I forget her name, but there's another girl that, you know, he had the bond with at the Fire Nation. And then I've heard of like other pairings too, but I've never heard of Aang and Mei being paired together. I'm sorry, my brain was like, I don't know why, my brain was just like Korra, Katara, and then my brain went with Korra instead of Katara, because, you know, they both start with the letter K, they're both water benders, and I was just like, I was gonna watch Chorus soon, but I'm kind of dreading it because I heard some parts aren't good. For me, if you want my opinion, Air Step, I feel like the first 2 seasons were kind of like a hot mess. 3rd season redeemed itself, and then 4th season was kind of like meh. And so I would say 1st season's okay, just to kind of get like the knowledge of like the background of the characters. 2nd season, first half is like meh. But then the latter half of 2nd season is really good. So it's latter half 2nd season, the 3rd season are good, and then 4th season is just kind of like in between. And so I think it's still worth the watch if you want to see more of like Avatar: Last Airbender, but with Korra's story, because they do touch more about like the gang from Last Airbender, right? Like they talk about them when they're older, and then there's some other stories too about like Avatar lore. And so I personally feel like I can see why people said it's not that great, but personally I really enjoyed, once again, the latter half of 2nd season as well as the 3rd season. And then the 1st season, it was just messy. I just think it was a little messy in a certain aspect. Hear me out. Who's May's best friend? Tylee, a bubbly, happy girly who might as well be an airbender. Aang is bubbly and happy. Oh, you're talking about it in that aspect. Okay, I see. I can see that working out, yeah. It's just, I guess for me with ships, it's like I have to see something happen in the show for me to even think about them as like a ship. And so that's interesting, Himbo. That's really cool, though. I like your idea. Bleach manga ended 9 years ago. It's too late for you people. I'm about to watch 3 seasons of mid and 1 good one. I wouldn't say 3 seasons of mid. I personally think... Okay, so it's kind of... So the way I said it, it does make it sound like it's 3 seasons of mid. But I really, really liked... My favorite part of the entire Korra series was the second half of season 2. Because they talk about lore for the Avatar. And that was like by far my favorite story. And so I really like that part. It's just that, yeah, I feel like Korra, you know, she's good, but it's just she can't live up to Aang, obviously. And so, yeah, it's up to you to decide, I feel like. Hi, Savvy. I'm doing well. How about you? How are you doing today? Yes, there is. There's another series coming out for Avatar that follows the original gang as they're older. But that comes out next year, I think. But yeah, it's supposed to be the original gang, but older. Yeah. I know. Oh, trust me. I've seen the debates about like Katara and Zuko having tension. And I admit there was tension. But I think for me, I don't know. I really like the couple with Zuko and May. I thought they were like a really cute, angsty couple. I don't know. I like the beach episode, you know, where they both like they hate the world together. I was like, that's kind of cute. They just hate everything together, you know? They hate everyone except for themselves. And they're just like, they're toxic. They're a toxic relationship, but I thought it was cute. I was just like, dang, they're so toxic, but they're so cute. They're so cute. I heard that May does not get married to Zuko. I heard Zuko gets married to somebody else, though, right? Or something like that. Bye, Oni. I'll see you next time. Thank you for stopping by today. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, I think season 1 had the best villain for Avatar Korra as well. Korra. My God, my brain. Couldn't you just say Aang and Tylee could be shipped together? You think so? You think Aang and Tylee could be shipped together? Tylee seems like she'd match with someone calm and really like an earthbender. Oh, you think so? They didn't really talk about if she ended it with anybody. Hi, Vanica. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Welcome. Zuko and May also good too. I know, right? Yeah. I liked the idea of like Katara and Zuko, and then Zuko and May. But yeah, I was like Team May. I love Team May all the way. I was like Team May. I feel like Zuko and Katara barely interacted from my recent rewatch. It's that one arc. The arc where they're both trying to save Aang, you know? And then Katara and Zuko, it's more like the whole enemies to lovers trope that people usually talk about when they ship them together. Season 3 has Mommy? Wait, who? Who are you talking about, Himbo? Makes sense to me. I never thought about that. I feel like Toph had a thing for like Sokka for a bit, but I didn't really see it. I didn't really see Toph and Sokka together. Sokka and Suki. I like Sokka and Suki, but I don't know. I feel like as much as it becomes a meme, you know, his moon girlfriend was also really cute. Like him and his moon girlfriend, Yue, they're really cute together, you know? But I did like Sokka and Suki a bit more than Sokka and Yue. Oh, the main villain. Dang, Himbo. Okay, Himbo. That's rough, buddy. I love the episode with Zuko being like, that's rough, buddy. My girlfriend turned to the moon. Oh, but you know my favorite character though? My all-time favorite character of Avatar? It's not the cabbage. It's not, you know, Aang. It's not Katara. It's not Zuko. As handsome as he is. It's not, you know, it's not Toph. It's not even Uncle Iroh. I like Uncle Iroh too, but it's not Uncle Iroh. It's not the Cabbage Man. For me, it's the boulder. I don't know. I just really like how goofy he is. The boulder will not fight with a girl. I love the boulder. He makes me laugh. I don't know. He was just like a very comedic character. The boulder is conflicted over his feelings. Are you talking about Sparky Boom Boom? No. Yeah, that's Sparky Boom Boom for Third Eye Guy. Yeah, the boulder is the one that was in the ring with Toph. Yeah. I like Iroh. I don't think anyone hates Iroh, okay? Iroh is just, you know, he's like the fan favorite. And then you have General Iroh in Avatar, who's pretty handsome. You know, you're like, oh. I remember when I was watching for Avatar Korra, I was like, okay, the characters are pretty handsome. Like Mako's pretty handsome, Bolin's pretty handsome. But then when I saw General Iroh, I was like, oh, hello. I was like, oh my goodness. And then he had Zuko's voice actor. I was like, oh my god. Bohemian, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoy your stay. Goofy type. I like Poe too. I also like Poe from Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, I like Poe. I like Dory too from Finding Nemo. The scene where she's talking in whale and she's like, "Hello, how are you?" Oh yeah. General Iroh, right? The grandson of Zuko. I was like, oh my goodness, he's like the spitting image of Zuko, right? And they had the same voice actor. But he was more, you know, like modern. He had like the slick back hair and everything. I was like, oh. And then he could fight too. I was like, oh, okay. So he like lives up to the reputation of being Zuko's grandson. I was like, okay, all right. They wanted The Rock to voice the boulder, but got mixed. I feel like I liked it. I feel like if The Rock was the boulder, even though, you know, even though Dwayne The Rock Johnson is like really cool, I feel like it wouldn't have been the same impact. You know what I mean? I feel like Mick Foley did a really good job being the boulder. Time to rewatch it. Yeah. You should. And then there's that one scene too where he jumps into the water, right? Because he's fighting and he like has like the sleeveless jacket because he had to rip off his sleeves. I was like, oh my god, he's buff. I was like, oh my god, okay. But yeah, I feel like Korra was not as hype as Avatar, but I really liked it though. I really liked both, just for the story. Oh, see it. I know your type. Oh. Hi, Sleeper Shark. We're just talking about Avatar characters. God. Man, I think about it too. I really like Jet and Katara. Like, Jet and Katara was such a cute couple. You know, I really like Jet. I thought Jet was like so handsome when I first saw him in the episode, you know, and he takes Katara, you know, traveling and stuff. I was like, oh my god, Jet, you know. But then, you know, the whole brainwashing thing happens, and then he becomes a jerk, and you're just like, oh, you know, you just kind of feel bad for Jet. Every guy thought, yeah, I know, yeah, a lot of people talked about it. They're like, oh my god, Jet, you know, blah blah. You don't see it. He was like he you know, he was like that. that character trope where he's like the bad boy, you know, but then he's like taking out Katara to go on these adventures, you know, kind of like Tarzan style, right? He can fight and all that stuff. He has like the suave kind of personality, you know. Didn't he start as a jerk? Yeah, I think he was like he's like Robin. He's like a Robin, like a vigilante. Yeah. So what happens to Jet is that he ends up being taken in, you know, by the Earthbenders, the bad Earthbenders, and then they brainwash him to kind of like do their bidding as like their spy, you know. And so, he was going to kill a bunch of people like Robin Hood style. So he's not your like good guy character, right? Hence like the whole bad boy trope. But I don't know. At the end, it was kind of vague what happened to him, which is why I feel bad, because once again, he got brainwashed and he just didn't really have that good of an ending, and they didn't really have closure for him. And so his story is just kind of sad. Yes, I am talking to... So I'm talking to Twitch chat and YouTube chat at the same time. It's just that for... Oh, no. So the question earlier for the do you talk to yourself, that was referring to a different conversation. We were talking about how people talk, I think, at parties and stuff, and how I don't really talk to people. Yeah, the talking to myself wasn't them talking about me talking on stream. That question was asked like way earlier. He did have potential. He did. I know, Silva. I know you're only catching up now. That's why I had to clarify. I was like, why is Silva saying that all of a sudden on YouTube? Yeah, he had a really sad story. Yeah, poor Jet, man. Oh, and then the whole story too with Zuko, with that girl. You guys remember when Zuko was pretending to be an earthbender, you know, with Uncle Iroh, and then he had that story with that girl. I felt bad for that girl. I felt bad. I was like, oh, dang. The earthbender guy in the camp? Earthbender guy in the camp. I feel like... Let me search him. I don't remember who that is. Let me see. Also, Lean and Art, thank you for the follow. Welcome on it. I hope you enjoy your stay. Earthbender guy in the camp. Oh, you're talking about the guy with his like dad or something when they were all trying to escape together. He had like the long hair. He looks like the prince that you see from C-dramas and stuff. He was pretty handsome. Yeah, I thought he was really Oh, here, I got you. Ready? See him? You want to see him again? You want to see your earthbender hubby? Oh my god! But then he grew that facial hair after we saw like the time skip of him, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know how I feel about this. Expect him to look exactly the same, except that he had like a goatee with a mustache now. I was just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, ignore that picture. That was from earlier. We were talking about the really cute art of like Ukiara and Orihime. Dang, they drew him so well. I really like the scarf that they gave him for the casual outfit. But here's the earthbender. Where's the picture? Where is it? But yeah, those artists though that drew art of Ukiora and Orihime, they drew them so well. I had like a whole folder of fan art that I saved because I was like really into the ship in middle school. I was super into them. I was like, dang, they're a really cute couple. But not real couple, but like a, you know, fan couple. Ta-da! This is who Cian's talking about. The earthbender from the prison that they were at when they were all trapped together. This is the earthbender guy with the long hair who looks like your C-drama prince. If you watch C-dramas, you know? The prince with like the long hair. That's him. God, I wonder what's gonna be like. I wonder what they're gonna show for the grown-up version of the characters in the next season. Not from Bleach! No, this is from Avatar, The Last Airbender. Not every Wu show romance man. Oh my goodness. Is that his name? Haru? I don't remember the name. That's probably right. Speaking of like handsome men, did you guys know Ikemen Elvira exists? Thanks to Tora, aka 46 centimeters. I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter, but Ikemen Elvira is real. You want to see? You want to see real quick? I don't know if I showed it on stream. But if you guys ever wondered, what I would look like as an Ikemen, you no longer have to wonder, because once again, Tora, aka 46 centimeters, used their Ikemen beam on me and just drew me as Ikemen one day on the spot, and I'm so grateful for it. Tora's so sweet. I love Tora. Please make sure you guys go check out Tora if you haven't already. But here, this is Ikemen Elvira. If you ever wondered, what would Elvira look like if she was an Ikemen? You know, if she was in a visual novel of Ikemen. Ta-da! Oh my goodness. So this is of my first outfit. If you guys don't recognize the outfit, this is of my first outfit, which you can see in the reference and the on the side next to it. But yes, this is if I was an Ikemen, you know? A very handsome anime man. I was just like, oh my gosh. She essentially, Tora asked me, she was like, what kind of vibe do you want to go for? And I was like, if I was like an Ikemen, I'd probably go for like being the gentle, you know, Ikemen, right? The one that's like very caring, very sweet, you know? And so as she drew it, she was like, oh, you know what that gives me vibes of? She's like, it gives me like apothecary vibes, or like the doctor that you would see in like visual novels, right? And I'm like, oh my god, yeah, it's like the doctor from Hatoful Boyfriend, you know, the visual novel with the pigeons, right? It's like the doctor, the nurse, essentially, you know. And I was like, oh my god, I can see it now. It's really cool though. She turned my necklace into a brooch, essentially, for the neck area, and then my shawl became a scarf that extends from the brooch. And I was like, hey, okay, Tora. Yeah. Akaya! What does he say? Cool it. Can you imagine just Ikemen Elvira? Cool it. I don't know what he says in Japanese, but I remember the English dub. He's like, cool it. Wait, let me shout out Tora real quick in case you guys don't know Tora. 46 centimeters. Here you go. I love Tora. Yeah, it's gender bent Elvira. Exactly. But speaking of Ikemen, you guys want to hop into some Grand Bazaar? You want to see some Ikemen and Grand Bazaar? We have yet to meet Samir, the one that I married back in the day in Grand Bazaar DS. And so I really want to see him. I want to see him again. I want to see what he sounds like in the updated version. So you guys want to hop into Grand Bazaar? Yes. Here, let me show you. So I think his name was Amir in the DS version, but they named him Samir in the Story of Seasons remake, right? And so this is what he used to look like back in the day. Or actually, no, I think he looks pretty similar. Even oh my god, I forgot. This is not the first rendition of him, because they brought him into I think it was Story of Seasons again. Oh my god, they did bring him back, because he was really popular. He was a really popular character back in the day in Grand Bazaar, and so they brought him back for, I think, Story of Seasons, the first Story of Seasons, I want to say. But now they have him again in the remake, and so he's always been like a very popular bachelor. And so this is what he looks like in Story of Seasons, or maybe I should just show you what he looks like in back then. Okay, let me save real quick. But I thought he was really sweet. He was like a really sweet and caring character out of all the bachelors, along with Jules back in the day. And so this is him. Ta-da! This is what he looks like from back in the day when I played. Not for the DS version. This was for the first Story of Seasons, I believe. Or was it A New Beginning? Was it Harvest Moon still? No. It was still with Harvest Moon. So this was him in Harvest Moon, A New Beginning, right? And then later on, they remade him again as Samir, because Samir is the name for Story of Seasons, where Amir is the name during Harvest Moon. Yeah. Oh, Racy, I would say, you know, I would like to avoid that word when describing people, you know, of different ethnicities. I remember some weirdos that have come up to me, you know, and told me that I look very exotic, and I was just like, I don't like that description. And so I don't know. I feel like the description's a little weird, you know, for people. But Ikemen, I accept. He is an Ikemen, yes. But yeah, I would say exotic is not the compliment that you might think it is for people. If you see someone, right, and you want to call them exotic, don't do it. But here, I'll bring up Grand Bazaar, and then we can keep on chatting as I play, because I really want to catch up with y'all. I know Raisty and Mod Rocker and a few others, like Odin even. I was watching Odin's stream last night, and I think Odin's in fall. I was like, what the heck? Odin started the other day when we raided him, and now he's already in fall. I'm like, dang, I need to catch up with y'all. Y'all are zooming in Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Yeah, he got super far. I saw he had like 4 pets already inside of his house. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up. I used to say exotic about... Yeah, because exotic, right? It's like people will say exotic about other stuff. Like, you know, not people. Like when people say exotic about people... Like, for example, when I was called, you know, exotic for random guys that hit on me back in the day, and like when I'm walking around, it just, you know, it feels weird. It feels like when people say the word exotic, it sounds like you're fetishizing somebody, right? Because of how they look. It's different from other people, and so you're just like, oh, it's not the compliment that people think it is. So yeah, I wouldn't say that to people, and I feel like other people should not be saying that to others too. Don't call people exotic. Passed out maybe 7 out of those 20. Oh, you passed out? Was it because of the jumping into the river thingy that you were talking about before? That's probably gonna happen to me too. I'm honestly surprised I still haven't passed out yet in Grand Bazaar. Because usually with farming sims, I'm like the queen of passing out, because I push myself a lot when it comes to farming sims. And so I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna pass out. But yeah, don't worry, super short. And for anyone that doesn't know, sometimes people just don't know. But yeah, it's not the compliment that people think it is when they say it to other people. Okay, let me go ahead here. Okay, let me pull the music up. Okay, music, pause. Grand Bazaar, music, commence. Oh my gosh, the whole reason I started stream today was to talk about PAX West, and I have gotten a little distracted by other conversations that we've been having. Just a little bit, you know, just a smidge. Okay. I'm loading in real quick. Yeah, I've just been a little distracted talking about stuff for the past 2 hours. But also, I didn't have all the pictures ready because I just, you know, we came back from PAX West last night, and, you know, we were both walking around and out from like the entire day for both Friday and Saturday. And so I don't have the pictures to show ready. You know, I haven't like cropped it, I haven't edited the pictures and stuff. And so I feel like maybe it's better just to talk about PAX West on Tuesday. So maybe Tuesday I'll talk about PAX West properly, you know, since I'm just going to be hunting for shiny Piplup. And you guys will have the pictures to go along with it. Yeah, I labeled that stream as like PAX West stories, because I was going to talk about PAX West, but we kind of got distracted. I got distracted, you know, about different topics. But yeah, I think I'll just talk about it on Tuesday, because, you know, once again, I feel like it'll be nicer to have the pictures to go along with it. But I can talk about it in general, too. I can talk about it in general. It's crazy, though. Okay, at least for now. Here, let me swap over the game category and stuff. And then I'll talk a little bit about it as I'm doing my, like, dailies in the game. Category, Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar. Oh, wait, maybe I should do a small break here and, like, swap over the stream. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it all in one stream today. Because I had it listed as, like, a free game day. But I kind of want to have it as, like, a separate VOD for those that are watching the Grand Bazaar series. So I kind of want to separate it. What do you guys think? Do you guys want it to be separate, or should I just keep it in one stream for today? Let me go here. Category change. Grand Bazaar. Collecting all the chonky animals. Okay, all right. Here, and then go here. Okay. Alright, and then let me go up and change it to a cow. Alright. Okie dokie. Title has been changed on Twitch. Okay. Alright, you know what? Since I do have like a playlist for Grand Bazaar, I'll do another waiting room for Grand Bazaar, and then for today's free game day VOD on YouTube, it can just be like a just chatting. I'll change it to like Zatsudan for the title and stuff. So it can just be like a just chatting type of stream for the first 2-hour VOD, and then we'll do like another VOD just specifically for Grand Bazaar, for those that do just want to see more of like Grand Bazaar content in a row. So there's not like a random gap, you know, of the Grand Bazaar streams. So let me go ahead and make a waiting room. Hi Powers, welcome on in. How you doing today? Okay. All right. Okay, here's the stream VOD. And then I will have it so that it just directly goes into the stream once the VOD ends on the YouTube side. So you guys don't have to worry about that for those that are worried that you won't join into the live streams. Give me 1 second. Going to set that up here. All right. No, you're fine, Sleeper. I don't mind getting distracted, you know? I'm always down for conversations whenever we're all chatting together. And so I think it's perfectly fine. So you guys don't have to feel bad about that at all. That is me. That is on me. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I'm gonna just do a quick little break to, you know, stand up, go bathroom and all that jazz, get my legs a bit of a quick stretch, and then we'll come back and we'll chat some more as we play some Grand Bazaar, all right? So I'll be back here in about like 3 minutes at most. But yeah, I'm gonna end the YouTube VOD for now and then raid into the Grand Bazaar waiting room, all right? So for those that are watching on the YouTube side, I'll see you here in a bit. But if you're watching just for the chatting portion, I will see you next time. But can we get some goodbyes on the YouTube side for those watching this half of the VOD? Bye, YouTube! I'll see you here in a few minutes for some